Hey team, let's talk about leaders profiling themselves. Yeah, I'm talking about using profile tools, not building a profile and just putting it out there. How well do you know yourself and why is it important that you do? I hate the global statement, research says, but I'm going to use it this time. Research says the most effective people are those who understand their strengths and behaviours. With this knowledge, these people are then best able to develop strategies to meet and exceed the demands of their daily lives, their careers, and their families. It's a nice quote. To me, knowledge is insight. The more we know, the more we are in a position to critique, to challenge, reflect, to learn, and to act. I must say, after more than 3 decades, yes, 3 decades in leadership, I think I come from a position of experience when I offer ideas or strategies in thinking. But experience isn't enough. Knowledge is an important part of confirming or pushing back experiences. Action and theory need to work hand in hand, they need to work together. The theory is often a great way of explaining why we do things and why we act in certain ways or why things happen. If there was one area of learning for every new leader to embark on, from me and looking back on my career, I would say it would be get more into psychology, understanding the way people think and behave, why they do what they do, why people react in the way they do. Leadership is about people. It's about their behaviour and their relationships. I have attended hundreds, probably thousands of hours of professional learning across my career, and everything from strategic thinking, budget setting, change management, pedagogy and curriculum. Lots of it's been interesting, some of it has been helpful, and parts have been really, really practical. The most impactful leadership learning I have ever done, though, has been the work in profiling, understanding behaviour and thinking, my own and then others. If I were to begin my leadership journey all over again, I would begin with profiling. Why do I think like I do? How do I behave and how does this impact on the decisions I make, the way I lead and how I work? What values drive me and how do they impact on the decisions I make? How do I interact with people? Who am I drawn to and why? The first time I ever did a behaviour profile, I freaked out at the results. How could a set of random questions and words really be that accurate and show me truths about myself? 38 minutes, I remember doing it, of clicking and matching random words, and the results were scary. Little did I know about the depth of the science, math and psychology behind it. Psychometrics are impactful. And why we don't learn this in our leadership learning, I don't know. We don't have to guess at how people think and why they work the way they do. There are tools, and lots of businesses know about this and use it every day, that can help us with this. Why don't we learn this and then we don't and then why don't we use it? Suddenly, books like Surrounded by Idiots become bestsellers because it is about understanding people. It's the science of stuff, and people are desperate for information, and then we don't use it. Let's look at a DISC profile. D is dominance, I is influence, S is steadiness, C is conscientiousness. I am an I, influential. I think fast, I talk fast. People are important to me. I don't need detail, and agendas are unimportant. I can change my thinking quickly if I see that an idea is moving towards a solution. I prefer less formal environments. I want people to enjoy each other and aim for harmony and world peace. I see positives and I look at the bright side of life. I generate ideas. How things look are important to me. I like colours. I am that person that likes to be creative and ideate. I am transparent. I am impatient. This is me, and I know a lot of this because I know myself, but I learned a lot more because I profiled myself. And then it took me further. What happens when I'm stressed or upset? How do I impact on people? How do I interact with other profiles? Gives me the answers and it explains why. And now I profile my team It brings us a language of communication and understanding of how we work together and why dysfunctions happen at different times. It explains why and gives us powerful information as to how to work better. We are more effective because of this. Then there's Gallup-Clifton strengths. Once I understood myself and profiled my team, I began to work through a lens of appreciative inquiry. Appreciative inquiry is about having deep knowledge of strengths and using these to build capacity. It was then that I found the Gallup-Clifton strengths. There are 34 traits, all of which are strengths. Do you know your top 5? What are your biggest strengths to lever from? I did a Gallup-Clifton strengths profile. I own my 5. They are absolutely me. Others might not like my words or imagine them as negatives. For me, they are me, and they are absolute strengths. And if I appreciate them and understand them and use them, then I'm going to be my best self. My 5, individualization. That's my number 1. Says you are intrigued by the unique qualities of each person. You are impatient with generalizations of types because you don't want to obscure what is special and distinct about each person. You understand why some people like public praise and others don't. You are a keen observer of other people's strengths and can draw out the best in each person. You build productive teams, casting teams by individual strengths so that everyone can do a lot of what they do well. My 2nd is strategic. You sort through the clutter and find the best route. It is not a skill that can be taught. It is a distinct way of thinking. You see patterns where others simply see complexity. What if this happened is a recurring question. You can evaluate accurately, but remember that not everyone thinks like this. My 3rd is achiever. This helps to explain your drive. You have a constant need for achievement. You feel as if every day starts at 0. You feel the need to achieve something tangible every day. You live with a whisper of discontent. Sometimes things aren't enough. You like work, new tasks and new challenges. You set the pace and productivity is important. You move things forward. Number 4, ideation. You are fascinated by ideas. Ideas connect. Your mind is always looking for alternatives and connections. You are intrigued by problems and seemingly disparate phenomena. You generate new perspectives, turning the world around so you can view it from a strange but strangely enlightening angle. And finally, number 5, command. You take charge. Feel no discomfort when sharing your opinion, asking questions and challenging others. You are not frightened by confrontation. Rather, you see confrontation as the first step towards resolution. You feel compelled to face up to facts or the truth and need things to be clear between people, challenging them to be clear-eyed and honest. You push people to take risks. You have presence. These are my 5 of 34. Scarily true, don't you think? Who are you? What are your strengths? Imagine if we could all articulate these, and then if we could use these to work in roles that match. Imagine if we could take the guess and hope, the hope work out of things. And then finally, I have Patrick Lencioni, and he offers us his book, The 6 Types of Working Genius, a better way to understand your gifts, frustrations, and your team. Lencioni has 6 types of working genius. They are our geniuses or our cause of frustration when we work outside of our zones of genius. Know where you fit. 2 or 3 for you and the others work for you and the others are against you. Too many of us have roles or work that ask us to work in the frustration bucket. Too many of us are working outside our zones of genius simply because we don't know this stuff. Profile yourself. Number 1, wonder, the ability to ponder and speculate, to question the state of things, asking questions that provoke answers and action. Number 2, discernment, related to instinct, intuition, and uncanny judgment, a natural ability to assess an idea, that gut feel and pattern recognition. Number 3, enablement, providing the propulsion with support and assistance in a way that is needed. Adept at responding to the needs of others without conditions or restriction. naturally inclined to help others accomplish goals. Invention, about coming up with new ideas and solutions. Origination, creativity, ingenuity, even with little directional context, creating ideas from thin air. 5 is about galvanizing, rallying, motivating and provoking people to take action around an idea or initiative. Naturally inclined to adopt, to inspire and enlist others to get involved. And finally, number 6, tenacity, a satisfaction of pushing things across the finish line to completion, according to a specification, getting closure, working in a zone of genius that brings motivation and energy. It doesn't feel like work. Where do you fit? Work hard on the right things with people in the right roles or on the right seats on the bus. This makes work more enjoyable, fulfilling and deeply satisfying. We see better teamwork, work culture, and a deep attention to results. It begins with you, understanding you. Profile, please stop guessing. Make your leadership life a lot easier. Lead from profile data. Be more impactful as a leader. Be a stronger, happier, and more impactful team. Use profiles. Work from science. This is science. Make better leadership decisions. If you want to know more, email me and I'll lead you through it. It's worth it. I'll profile you, your team, and everybody else. It's great stuff. Let's learn it together.